Welcome to the Out There channel live stream 430. Journey into the darkness of the fourth dimension.
Hiding, I'm searching, I'm loving,
I got the audio sorted out again.
I'm hiding,
Windows 10 is just some
I'm loving,
strange stuff.
I'm finding love.
Let the weight control your body.
It was written.
Hiding, I'm searching, I'm loving, I'm finding love.
Good to be back. Okay. Sounds like we got a load of machine noises outside. Vacuum cleaners. So hopefully you don't pick it up too much. What can I hear? Stuff being played. Let me just check this. I think that's meant to be turned on. Not sure that's working. So, here's another one. It doesn't look like it's got any motion in this one. So this one, could it be one of those? Okay, so it looks like it's working. I'm just doing some checks here before we carry on. Good to be back. Sounds alright this end. Hopefully the little tweaks I've done has solved the problems again. Alright. Let's begin. Right, haven't typed up the slides. Hello, anyone out there with a brain and critical thinking? I don't think they will be on YouTube, but you never know. Okay, so welcome to the OT channel, Live-430. Journey into the fourth dimension of aliens. Stupid Google, you took focus away. Yeah, looking good. Apart from the freight's going again. Only just begun. So you might recall they talked about, the pilots was talked about seeing various types of unknown craft around their around their planes, but one particular one was a transparent cube and a sphere, which is very strange for an alien ship. So a cube inside within a circle. Navy pilots. We'll just go over it again in a minute. Navy pilot reported seeing UFOs on a daily basis. So all these other stories that come out. Navy reports describe, which is one I got up here already. Encounters of unexplained flying objects. Leaked government UFO photo. What is hovering cube? Okay, I haven't seen that one. Let's have a quick look at these. Motionless cube-shaped UFO. Okay, I wouldn't say that was a cube shape, and we've been over that before. There's definitely a heart, 18-inch heart balloon. Because there's a lot of more image there that's sort of blended in with the sky, which you can't see. Mostly that grey business around here, but once you do the grey business, you see how nice and smooth the edges are. So I'm not sure if they're referring to that photo as a cube shape. Does seem to suggest it, doesn't it? So this is how ufology is laughed at, really. Now let's see what else we've got popping up here. History on Twitter. It was basically a cube inside a sphere. Okay, so that was on the History Channel, I guess. Does that mean that clip is fair use, or so these people are really unfair usey type media companies? I suppose we could take a risk.
It was basically a cube with inside of sphere, where the points of the cube were touching outside of the sphere.
So there's like a circle very close to the inside of the cube there, isn't it? So let's have a look at, let's go through this to see if we can make head and tail of it. So let's draw it two-dimensionally as well at the moment. So let's look at it as a flat thing, and then a square. So a square, rectangle. There's one that looks on the sides. Is there one here? Rounded. Call outs. Yeah, it doesn't look in the square shape. So it was touching, the corners were touching inside like that. See, that doesn't look right. Looks like it's too much over here. Is that a square? Yeah, it looks close enough to a square. Now, I'm pretty sure there's been croc circles with that sort of geometry as well, which is quite interesting. We might look into that. I don't believe in crop circles as UFOs communicating. There's just too many hoaxes out there. If there was 0 hoaxes, then we would get somewhere faster in this world. But there's just too many hoaxes in the UFO field. And I don't know about you, but it pisses me off. And you got, we'll get to that in a minute, but we got Tyler doing these brag interviews like, ha ha ha, you haters, you debunkers, can't stop me. And then you got him messaging other frauds saying, don't put that garbage up when they're hypocrites, because they're the ones making garbage as well. So we'll get on to all that, but we'll talk about some real stuff first. But you just can't get away from these guys, and they're just damaging what we're meant to be trying to suss out in this world. So let's draw a sphere 3-dimensionally. So probably should make it a bit thinner, that one. That looks better. Yeah, we want the cube inside that. Yeah, so we need to get it to touch the corners. Maybe we need to up the size of that one. Now, does that make sense for a drone? So that's what we're looking at. Claims. Navy pilot. Now, if you had a craft that's square, is it solid though? Is he talking about being transparent or solid?
We've got now 2 different things. You guys got cubes with balls, or on the West Coast, we got flying Tic Tacs.
Cubes with balls.
You will sometimes get phantom tracks where it's seeing something that's not there. That's what we thought they were 100% of the time until we would see them physically and gain tally of them with our eyeballs. It's not like I'm seeing a bright physical object. I'm literally just seeing a flash shine out there. And wherever we were, they were there. So that could mean 2 things. That could mean they were already there.
Still no mention about whether it's solid.
Or they were following the strike group.
So we're just got to be careful how much we can play here.
By 2015, Lieutenant Graves claims his pilots were encountering bizarre craft almost every time they flew.
You know, it's one thing if one person sees one of these objects, they're like, okay, that's crazy. When you go out there every day and you see them, and your brothers and sisters and other squadrons are seeing them, and you know, it's like.
So I'll just pause that occasionally just to break it up, so I can talk about it, but also avoid stupid copyright claims, even though we're trying to do this under fair use. Google is a pain in the bum. So, still, we haven't got any information. Was the cubes transparent? Here's one here. Navy reports describe encounters of unexplained flying objects. So let's just also break through this one here. When was this posted? Pretty recently, so it might be worth going through it. Updated. So we've got to keep on top of this, because the noise and the drama and people trying to make huge sums of money, virtual, what is it? some sort of virtual conference where you're going to get in contact with alien nonsense out there. This is definitely what we don't need in ufology. We just want people out there to actually record this stuff and actually get us what we need to see, not talk about C5 nonsense and lose all your money in the process to these frauds claiming to have the answers. So wanted to find out more about this cubes and spheres. Looked like a flying sphere encasing a cube. Now, I'd assume the cube is solid, and the sphere obviously has to be transparent, doesn't it? By that word in there. Ralph Blumenthal. Navy pilots reported close encounters, I'll just zoom out a bit, with unidentified aerial vehicles, including several dangerous close in 8 incidents between 27th of June 2013 and February the 13th 2019. So that's another 4 years past the gimbal videos, right? According to documents recently released by the Navy, 2 happened on one day, according to one of 8 unclassified Navy safety reports released in response to requests filed under the Freedom of Information Act by news outlets, including the New York Times. Last month, the Defense Department authenticated 3 videos. Yeah, we already know about them. The incidents in the videos were investigated by a little-known Pentagon program that for 4 years looked into the reports. Okay, so we know about ATIP. The existence of the office was first reported by Times. While some of the encounters have been reported publicly before, the Freedom of Information Act releases include the Navy official records documenting the incidents, including descriptions from the pilots of what they saw. While some of the encounters have been reported, yep, okay. The Navy records known as hazard reports describe both visual and radar sightings, including close calls with aerial vehicles or unmanned aircraft systems. Now, would you fly a drone between two jets if you were enemy? I don't see why you wouldn't. How about if you were doing testing, trying to test out pilots' reactions to some new projected hologram, maybe of square and circles, or spheres and balls, or tic-tacs? I don't see why not. But then again, they're saying that in the recent Congress report that it's not USA. So I guess that now includes DARPA reports, because we always considered DARPA to be maybe outside the loop of the Navy, General Navy information, that they can still be classed as top secret. So yeah, I still have a problem with that myself, whether that's really true or not, because I'm not sure if we can believe the Congress reports. I'm not too sure about you out there on the web, on the side chats, whether you believe the Congress is being fully honest here, or it's just another bait and switch again, where they're trying to confuse the Russians, maybe, saying it's they know it's them or whatever. It's really unclear to me what's really going on. But all we can do is go by what the pilots see. And I think that's what we're going to try and do today. If we can go through these other reports here. Okay, so we're talking about March the 26th, 2014, which is... we're talking about high definition camera technology now in this period, right? So that gimbal footage should have been a lot better. Right, we should have had some HD footage, not just thermal. And that one didn't go to TV mode at all, did it? Unlike the 2004 one, which was SD pre-HD technology. And of course they released that TV footage there where you can't see anything apart from a elongated blob. And I believe it is... there was a debate with Mick West and a pilot. So I do believe that this is actually truly a tic-tac shaped craft like they were saying they were seeing. I don't see any thins on that one. We do see some glare. If you get the really high quality vision, apparently there's a better one that came out from Pentagon, a less compressed version of the video. Mick West has got it. It has little spikes on it, little noise, but that could be just through atmospherics. But the pilot did say Mick is wrong, is making too many assumptions, and the assumption is there's not that much glare on the Navy pod cameras. So that means there would be parts of the UFO being seen behind the glare. So some of the glare is going to be heat, but somehow the MASH-2 and their military systems almost eliminate the glare. So that means that Mick West is wrong. And what we're seeing is actually mostly the craft. Is that in sync? I'll just... 1, 2, 3. I think I need to reset that going. Now, Windows has been doing some strange stuff. Any crackles, let me know. I'm not monitoring it. 1, 2, 3. Okay, I think it's better in sync again. Okay. So where was I? Okay, so reading out this report. Over the Atlantic Ocean off Virginia Beach. So maybe we should bring up a map. For us that not Americans, even Americans don't even know their own map, I don't think, but where Mike Dice goes and interviews people, it's quite hilarious. So let's bring up Virginia Beach. There we go. Okay, so it's a fair distance away from Florida. There. And how close is it to Canada? So Canada's up here. New York. And Virginia. So it must be off here, they're talking about, around about here. Now, isn't that part of the tip of the Bermuda Triangle too? Which sort of could have play a role in this as well. With the fourth dimension and all that. Let's get a map up of the so-called Bermuda Triangle. phone type. Images. Okay, so it's not that far up. So you can see the triangle seems to really gone to whoever is doing the data processing by the looks of it. Okay, so there's one I recall off here going out to the Bermuda Island, tip of Florida, and what was the other location? Puerto Rico. Okay. So that's a fair distance if we look at that one. Away from Virginia. There we go, that's a better one. I guess it was a better idea. But still, it's near where a lot of strange stuff seems to happen with weather events. So wasn't it Flight 19 that flew this way? So whereabouts was Flight 19? Flight 19. Place went missing. Let's see how far in the triangle zone or near they were. If we got a map. So we're looking for connections. That's why I called it Journey Into the fourth dimension today. You think there'd be an easy map. Okay, what's that one? Flight 19. So whereabouts are we? The tip of Florida, is it? Okay, let's have a look. So it kind of looks like it, doesn't it? So they're right to the right in the zone of the Bermuda Triangle here. Now that's not the only triangle zones, so people call them. There's also the Japanese triangle. Japanese, I think they call it Dragon Triangle, is it? Devil's Sea, also known the Devil's Triangle. Okay, so we've got images. Okay. Now, already we've got two shapes of triangles here. Okay, so where's that going to there? See, that looks, is that the same triangle? I think it is. Let's have a look at that one. Okay, so there's that one again from Florida. Sargasso Sea. Really calm. So obviously it's to do with sea currents there, right? That's probably why the such a crazy piece of coastline there with the weather situation where it can be calm 1 minute and sea fog and all sorts of crazy other claims. Now, why would that be similar there? So I think a lot of these, I think we're going to find have meteorite impact zones. So that would be another thing to connect these triangle locations with known impacts of crater meteorites. So that would be an ideal sort of location for impact, and also the other locations out here. So I wonder if we got a map of that. Known ancient, because as we know, Skinwalker Ranch we suspected had a meteorite impact there, an ancient one that left some elements like crystals and iron deep underground there, which is causing the piezoelectric effect and generating microwaves to the extreme, as we've seen on the show. So I think he managed to find a map, so it'd be good to overlay ancient asteroid or meteorite. Do we call it asteroid impacts, meteorite impacts, meteor impacts, or what? They've probably got some general name for it. List of impact craters on Earth. Let's see if we've got a map. Okay, so you're starting to see where I'm heading. See what right over here. There's quite a few in key areas, which I find fascinating. I wonder if we can get a big map up. And you can see, is it Australia? Off the coast of New Zealand there. South America. The tip of South Africa, which we know there's a lot of freak waves that happen there. And also there was one on UK as well. There it is, between Wales and Ireland, right? And that's where the story of the blue men comes from. But Australia has quite a few impacts. But do we know if there's any under the sea? Probably not. There's probably a lot more through the sea there. It'd be good to get a really big map if we can scale it up. That's as big as we get. Okay, looks like they've even got overlay tags here. Can we actually get close enough to read it? Or too close? Here we go. Diameter 150 kilometers. Look at all the impact locations here over Kentucky. Over here, look. And then you got it, a big one here. And of course that looks like also overlapping impact locations where Virginia is there. See that there? Virginia. There's Florida. So you can see the Bermuda Triangle is going to fit nicely into that area there. And you can see there's a lot of impact craters going through the 37th parallel, which we've also covered in the past. So all these things are sort of connecting. And there's meant to be quite a large amount of... hey, I didn't see you there on the side chat. How's it going? It's Rising Sun. What you doing? How you doing? Yeah, I'm feeling pretty good today. Yeah, I'm doing maybe like a live investigation. We're just trying to connect a lot of the dots out there to all the different things that we've been covering over the last few years, and how it connects to the fourth dimension as well, and pilot sightings. Parallel. What am I doing? Paranormal. There will be paranormal. Parallel. How do we spell it? Yeah. Here we go. Okay, we might be able to get a map of that one if we're lucky. So let's try and piece all this together. Actually, let's see. Let's make up our own map. Not that one. And I'm going to spend ages on this. Once I get stuck into connecting all these things. Why does it not come up though? It's not going to let me cut it out. This code here is interfering, I think. Select area. It's not going to let me do it. Let's see. Visible part of the page. Let's try that. We can get it that way. Done. Oh yeah. Okay, we got that one. So now we'll just open it up. I wish it wasn't so washed out though. You know what I mean? I wish the impact craters were brighter. I'm not sure if we can play around with that. Actually, I should post a link to it as well. Where's it gone? It's funny, it says upload wiki media, but it's interactive, and it's interesting. Impact craters. I think there's a lot in the sea that we still yet to... Come on, voice. There's a lot in the sea we're still yet to map here. I guess a lot of these have been found by satellite though. Impact craters. So this might be like part one of the investigation anyway, guys, just so you know. And just get started. And now we want to get the map of Bermuda Triangle, so we'll get 37th parallel one. Main, so that one might be good. Let's see if we can overlay it. So you've seen the map previously on live shows where we actually had all the UFO reports all seem to line up around this 37th parallel. And I was going to play around with the brightness here. That's not too bad. That's probably a bit better. Try that. Okay, we'll save it as we go. Save as. I'll probably upload them on Discord so people can grab them too. On the Discord group, if you remember. Impact. Craters. World. What are we doing here? Oh, that'll do. Okay. So, we'll get back to the fourth dimension eventually. So we want to... Is that the one? Yeah. So we're looking here. What I should do is zoom into this America map. But we'll just put that down there. On the side. Oh, that'll do. Off that one. We'll just build it up. Flatten. And then we'll see if we can do better. And then we want, so that was latitude, longitude. Okay, we'll just change that. 37 parallel. Oh, what's that one? What is that one? Alright, there's the map. Original. Yeah, we want to go back and grab now. I think we've got 37 ones. What the hell happened there? Alright. Japan. I'll grab that one. There's a few more triangles though. The Great Lakes, is it? It's another one. So maybe we can find that one too. Dragon Triangle, yep, that one. And we need... is this the Great Lake one? Strange Adventures of the Great Lakes, yep. So where's the triangle there? Can't see any triangle drawn on there. So we can grab that one. That's not too bad. Bermuda Triangle. Okay, that's over this way. I didn't see that one before, but there's also one at the bottom of South America here. And it goes into Antarctica. See that? And it's also little impact craters going into the Arctic. Probably put that one there, maybe. Do we need to worry about Europe? Africa's got a few. Maybe put it up there. That's pretty good. Haven't covered too much there, I don't think. And then we got the dragon one. Where's Japan, guys? Up here somewhere, isn't it? Where is it in that mess? So they got the undersea and the map underwater added to this one. So New Zealand's out here, and it's not got any strange impact craters around it. Africa's got a few key ones here. In fact, isn't that where the Great Pyramids are there? So that would be another thing to do. Location of some of the big pyramids. Another connection. You can see there's a big one right over Mexico. And there's a big one next to Brazil there. And we know there's also a magnetic disturbance there, which would suggest something, if it's not meteorite, what's causing that? So we need to look at that one too, transatlantic anomaly. So there's quite a lot to add on to the map, isn't there? All these different things. Add on layer. What's happened over there? Something strange going on the other screen. Anyway, where did it edit? Up here. I don't really want to scale it down though. Is that right off the edge? No. So I've got that one up there. And the Great Lakes, you can see are smack in the middle of those ones here. So let's grab more information. Great Lakes Triangle. Now, it'd be good to map all the locations where the pilots saw strange UFO sightings. I don't know if anyone's actually done any work like this, because it would really help. So there's a triangle there, they're saying. What lake is that one? This one here. Lake Michigan Triangle. I thought it went over several lakes though. And then we got this one here. Triangle within a triangle. Well, I'm not surprised with all those impact craters there. Project Great Lakes Hidden Realms. Okay, let's have a look at that one. So it looks like other people are looking into all this sort of stuff as well. So they talked about also compass readings going crazy, right? Like at Skinwalker Ranch. And now we know. It's got to be related to stuff found in the big meteorite impacts. So, yeah. I'll just grab that image then. Now, the triangles are only based on people's perceived data, right? What do they exclude from the triangles? Alright, and what do they include it? So that makes a whole lot of difference. Triangles. No, we want lake triangles. I'm pretty sure everybody's heard about all these I'm bringing up. But if not, now you know. And you can see America is the most impacted and the one that seems to have the most crazy stuff happening. Okay, that one needs to be scaled down. Oh, I forgot to lock aspect ratio. There we go. I could put that one up there probably. Make it a wee bit smaller. Okay, it's gradually building up. Flatten. And we want to call this one the map of everything. Impact craters. Map of everything. World. Of course, we know there's a lot of impact craters on the moon. So do they have the same sort of stuff that's happening up there? We won't know until we, I suppose, put some moon bases on it. And Mars would be another one. But you could see if this is releasing strange energies, microwaves especially, then this could also tie into affecting people's brains so they see things, apparitions, UFOs. So it could be another topic on that as well. So we'll just keep that one. What else we're going to do? Transatlantic. We'll just add that one on. What's this guy saying? So there's a lot to go over. Project Great Lakes. Considering the unusual vanishings and mysterious phenomenon. So that's another thing. If there's vanishings, could they be being sucked into another multiverse? So just imagine there's a multiverse of Earth in the future and Earth in the past. And of course this ties into the idea of dimensions. But really it's really not really dimensions as such. It's like a dimension into another realm. So the dimensions are connection points. So, but we're getting to all that. Which we call portals anyway. And you can see here they've got the Stonehenge. The Stonehenges is another thing, right? Where they built on top of impact craters. I see what I'm going. So where all the original rings built on impact craters, and also maybe some of the pyramids were also placed inside impact craters. And so there's a good one there. I'll post a link to that. We'll keep a list of the running information. Lake triangles. There's also a good TV series talking about the lake triangles. Do they call it Alaska Triangle? Maybe that's another one. Maybe it's called Elastic Triangle, but I think it might be something different. What's happened here? Trying to type a comment and it keeps taking focus away. Triangle. Lake Triangle info. So there's a lot of reading on that page. We don't want to do too much reading today. Maybe we'll come back to it. I think there's Alaska Triangle. I'm not sure. We've still got lots to do. There you go. People disappear in the Alaska Triangle. And we need a map. Okay, so that's way at the top too. And there's probably covered it in our map now. We have, haven't we? Looks like it might be over here. Forgot about that one. Let's see if we can save the image. There we go for time. Not too bad. Time flies when you're having fun. Okay, Alaska Triangle. Yep, that'll do. Oh no. Oh yeah, should be right. Just got this pop up here. To miss. Sometimes called the Alaska Bermuda Triangle. And of course, where's all the Bigfoots? I bet it's in those key areas too. Remember, Bigfoot's coming in and out of doorways. So there's another connection there. Let's get triangle. And it's up here, unfortunately. It doesn't matter. It's a busy location there, isn't it? At the top. There we'll do, overlay it. Okay, now we got the. I should have kept the link, did I? I should post it inside as we go. Legends of America. Okay, let's get triangle. I'll just call it try. Say some typing. There's also where the Baltic Sea anomaly is, there's meant to be strange magnetics up there. And again, I think it relates to meteorite impacts. So we need to look that one up too and see where it fits. Atlantic. Like I said, I do lots of things different to other UFO channels out there. And we're trying to wrap our head around things here. Not just repeat the same garbage over and over and over again. Atlantic. See, anomaly, is it? Is that what they call it? South Atlantic. Okay, has that one got a map? Yes, so it's a magnetic map instead. Apparently they power down satellites as they pass through it because it fries the circuits. And let's see if we can grab that one. And the more you map this stuff, the more crazy Earth looks. South Atlantic. Anom. SAA they call it. Now it's right at the bottom here. Look where that crater is. Let's do with that one there. Now let's scale that one down a wee bit. Put it there. I kind of like this map. This is coming together. So we need to really zoom in more of that. So it's between that impact there in Brazil and the bottom of South America. And you can see it goes all the way over to Africa here where the other impact crater is. So there's your mystery there. It's got 3 points. So whereabouts the pyramids as well. So we got 1, 2. Well, we've got triangles within triangles here. 1, 2, 3, 4 triangles. Signs where people go missing. And I bet there's a few that goes missing in Australia too. Now you can see why not much happens in New Zealand. We haven't got any of this stuff that we're seeing here on the map. We're on the outcoast of it. unless it hasn't been categorized yet. So that's an anomaly. So that's another one. That looks like it's between 3 impact craters. And you can see where the biggest one is where the strongest field is. So that makes me wonder if they're actually missing another impact there. I reckon there's another impact smack there somewhere. Did I copy that? Okay, SAA. Anom. Okay, so we're going all over the map here. Shame you can't use Google to map it all. Then we could zoom in and out. And we could do amazing things. And then we can actually look at the 4 corners as well. Now, where's the 4 corners in this? It's going to be smack on that crater there, isn't it? Remember, that was like a straight line that went straight to where the Kentucky goblins were. Remember that? I found that connection as well. So yeah, there's a lot of good stuff happening that we're finding out. I'm surprised no one else has connected meteorite impacts to all these triangles before. There's blue people. What's that one? Looking at Alaska. New series. Alaska's triangle. Had some UFO stuff in it. Have you not seen it? Go and grab it. Okay. Map of all pyramids. Has someone done that? So it looks like it's going to get busy. Okay, let's have a look at that one. Now you can see here for the Mayan pyramids, like the Egyptian ones, they couldn't get the Great Pyramid design perfect. You'll see a lot of prototype of pyramids where it sort of collapsed in on itself, and they did this strange tear shape, very flat looking pyramids. Early pyramids, right? Why spend all that energy building pyramids? Seems to be like the biggest question. So, when especially they're on mountains already, they go much higher. And you can see they've got the mountain range behind here. It goes much higher than the pyramids that's on the lowlands. Could it be just for religious stuff? Or could there be some sort of machine idea in this? Now, I talked about pyramids being a machine to make hydrogen using water. And the pockets, the caverns for which they called the King's and Queen's Chambers, were the collection points of the various gases from hydrogen and oxygen. Okay, what have we got here? This looks like ley lines rather than pyramid locations. But oddly enough, you can see the ley lines are connecting up with all those where the major craters, or most of the crater impacts were occurred. And that was in that region here, this region over here, down South America and Australia. Okay, so is that where all the pyramids are? Is there a pyramid in England? Easter Island? I think they're just locations where things were built, was it? Doesn't give us any information. So let's go and keep looking. A bit blurry. The Great Pyramid of Giza and the Sphinx. And you can see it runs close to the rivers because the rivers were a part of how they built it. They used to build canals and reed boats, and they could transport 20-ton blocks of stone quite easily to the building sites. And then use sleighs and stuff. So how does that fit on their map to the impact locations? Where's the null on that? See, we can't get down too deep, can we? You think you'd better see a great river from that distance. Okay, it's near the Red Sea, so it's got to be next to here. That blob of water there. I'll just bring it up on the normal map, I think. We'll come back to the Virginia thing. We got sidetracked on that one, didn't we? So if they're flying pilots near all these locations where there's a lot of meteorite impacts, could that somehow open a portal where they get glimpses of UFOs, but from another world that seem to pop in and out? Possible. Could it affect their brain? So they're seeing things, and could it be so if one person can see it, then it means it must be also able to affect the brains of everybody to be able to see the same thing that's close to that location. That kind of makes sense, right? Like EMF projection. And of course, that could also be made into a weapon. if you can send a drone that can transmit images that can be implanted into the visual cortex of pilots, then you could have them do all sorts of crazy things. So that's another aspect of it all. Another science thing. So again, we're going to have lots more questions than answers, but we've just got to keep on at this stuff until more information keeps coming out. And so people that are holding on to key information, they should come out as leakers now, I reckon, and have a lot of ufologists actually document their stories and get them to draw pictures. And then we can actually do what we're doing here, is trying to map things and make sense of it all. So, Great Pyramids. Just want to make sure we're in the right location here. And does it fit with the meteorite impacts, is what we want to know. Okay, that sort of gives us an idea. So it's way up the top here on the map. And sure enough, looks like there might be a few meteorite impacts. Well, not really big ones though. Well, there's a fair big one there. How big is that one there? We need to go back to the interactive map to see how many kilometers it is. That one there. Okay, so now I've got to try and get to it so we can read it. Yeah, did we get it? 34, is it? Kilometers? Can just get it on the edge there. So that's right next to where the pyramids were being built. That one's a bit further over. 18 kilometers. But look how crazy that map is over here. Okay. Of course, I don't think they've got them all. I think there's a lot more than what they've got mapped here. Because it's a bit strange that it's around mostly land masses, and we expect to see quite a lot into the sea around. So I don't think it's complete. That's why more scientists are needed to make sure we can get all the complete data of where all the impacts are. Okay, so the pyramids do line up there, and we wanted a world map of all the locations. Now, I did actually live in Libya up here with my parents, because Dad was part of the Air Force and he was setting up radar systems. So we were up there in the Mediterranean. That one wasn't a really good map though. Here we go. Now, this goes into my theory of airships now. That there was a air current that pretty much went to where most of the pyramids were. Give or take the width, you know, because you could drift off here. Drift off up here. And you got China, Africa and South America. And if you include drifting, you got some in America, maybe bottom end of UK there, and you also got it going down to South America down here in Brazil, where a lot of pyramids are. So yeah, do a triangle of wind here. Which ones did they list as the big ones? Methodological alignments, pseudoscience they're claiming. Yeah, it's funny how they want to class everything as pseudoscience, but it's not though, is it? We're starting to see more and more patterns, and what have we got here for names? Still can't read it. Damn it. Okay, so let's look on the map for those locations there. Okay. So it's the other side of Florida there. And it's right over this impact one. Here, look, smack in the middle. Smack in the middle. Where that big pyramid is. Over the top of this impact crater here, straight across. And that's on 0 parallel. So we've got 0 there, and we've got 37 parallel up here, which is that one up here, I think. Cuts right through Kentucky, California, straight across. And where was the other one? Asia. So there's a big impact crater there. How big is that one? It's 52 kilometers. Okay, so where's the map again? Ah! So click the stupid cross. Okay, looks like it might be past that location. It's heading closer to Japan there. Yeah, so what's over that way? So it goes past there. Doesn't seem to be much over here, which I find very suspect. It's got to be something here. It's too void. See, that's too void as well, and that's too void over here, and over here. There's got to be stuff. Maybe that map's not accurate, so let's just try another one. Impact craters, Japan. See if anything's coming up on that one. So we've got one come up straight away. And of course they're causing that one asteroids. So remember I was talking about meteorites and asteroids. Maybe we need a map of asteroid impacts rather than meteorite impacts, and overlay both. Maybe that's the thing, is it? Is this a place on Earth though? Is this in space? Surface of the asteroid by space probe. Alright. This ain't on Earth. Here we go. We have to keep looking then. Have succeeded in creating what they called the first ever Artificial crater. Asteroid. Well, we just read that. That's not what the question was asking. Is the Pacific Ocean an impact crater? Yeah, asteroid impact crater. Okay, whereabouts is that then? South Pacific Ocean. Can we get a picture of it? That's South Africa. No, South America, I mean. We know about that one. Well, if you're out there helping us research this, maybe also join in and post on the side there if you want to. Impact materials of, what's this one? Okay, so they're talking about shocked quartz here. And you might remember that there was a lot of quartz in Kentucky where there's a lot of paranormal and UFO sightings happening. And Bigfoot. And of course the goblins. We want a map, guys. Uh, 1995. So was it not on? Was it not on our map? We could just keep looking. Hoover's on again. Hopefully you won't hear it. Yeah, let's have a look at that one. That's not very good. I think we're going to need some more time to research all this. As I said, this is going to be part 1. And you can see there's a lot of reading. And of course, the other one to do is also map all the middle of those impact crater to maybe street addresses, city addresses, you know. So much you can do. And it kind of looks like Atlantis. Don't want to sign up. Bugger off. They sabotaged this. See if that works. Oh, you can't scroll now though. No. Damn it. No, I won't go any further than that. Oh well, another page. We did say Japan here. Okay, Japanese time. Traces of one of the biggest craters in solar on the moon of Jupiter. No. It's giving us the same information as before. I was careful not to put meteorite or asteroid in here this time, but still doesn't seem to be anything popping up. So we might have to move on and try and figure out that one. It's a fair distance away from the other pyramids and also that crater there, but it was about there, and there were the biggest pyramids. It's funny though, kind of looks like to me there would be an impact crater there. Looking at the undersea map here. I suppose we could put coastline of Asia. It's closer to Asia than it is Japan. Asia. Let's see what comes up. There we go for time. She's not Asia. That's the wrong kind of Asia. Okay, what we got here? So it would be written in their own language, wouldn't it? Sightings of meteorites coming down, impact, and I didn't say Asia, Jaza. How did that happen? Okay, so we got that map again. What else we got? What's that one saying? Australasian impact crater buried under. Now, where is the Baltic Sea? There it is here. It's right at the top there. There's another one way up here, isn't it? It's up there, where all those impact craters are. So that's where the other anomalies are, where instruments turn off and do weird stuff, right? Now they're talking about asteroid impacts here, rather than meteorites. And it looks like it does go over to Japan here. Asia. And New Zealand is on the edge of it. Yeah. So, I don't think the other map is complete. All these searches we did, I need to close them down. So when we see that map, they're talking about it going all over here. So, I don't think that map is entirely accurate. We're still missing key information. Excuse me. So we're trying to find a map of all the key pyramids. And I think they're all around about this location. It's on my airship one anyway. I've got some maps on there. But I was seeing if I could find something newer. All episodes with airships. This one here. Airship pyramids. That's all connected. Guarantee it. And if they had airships, that's why they had Nazca lines. And that sort of fits. They had stuff you could see only from the sky. And if you had the high technology back then, you'd be called sky gods. Especially Egyptians, if they're Egyptians. Or a race of people preceding the Egyptians, I should say. That had high tech. And maybe they got all slaughtered. Killed off in wars because people were jealous of them. And the history got lost. But, yeah, that would be classed as pseudoscience, though. Because we can't prove it. There was a great library called the Alexandria, which was where they got some of these world maps from. So it seems to me that there was some sort of intelligence in the world at some point where they were trying to preserve everything in one location that anyone could access. Maybe the world was better back in those days before war started again. Something happened in the past anyway. And maybe we're going full circle again. There'll be wars again, wipeouts, and then humans will redevelop again. So yeah, we're trying to find impact craters around Asia to fill in the rest of that map. I reckon it's incomplete. What's that one over here? You can see. What's that one? There's a circle there. So what's that one saying? Let's have a look. Enduring mystery of Australasian antiquities elements. What's all that about? Buy the magazine. You can't read this website. What the hell does that mean? Pebble-like glassy objects of Earth material that have been melted by meteorite impact. There you go. So there is one on the map there where they're finding these debris, and it's smack over, almost in the middle of where the other Great Pyramid is in Asia. Going across here. So yeah, maybe we need to save that little map here and stick it on our map. And of course, I think there's still stuff missing, of course, for Japan. What does it say there? Cosmo elements. I'll just stick Asia there. There's got to be something in that Japanese triangle, right? Anyway, I think we might just need to stop it there, as we're going to spend all our time on this, exploring. Molten glass rained down from the sky. So what's this from? Some ancient writings or manuscripts. Okay, does look like meteorite, doesn't it? I'll just post a link to that one. Glassy balls. Impacts. I'll just keep going down. So did they carve little skulls from these little beads today? Creepy. Beacon Man skull. Okay. So they got wiped out by a meteorite there? That's very possible. Makes sense, doesn't it? Did I save that? I did, didn't I? Yep, here we go. I need to add it to the map. Down there will do. It's really for up here though. And that sort of covers Japan and the coast of Asia up there. So there's got to be a lot more stuff to come. And save. And let's get a busy map now. See, this is why Skinwalker Ranch need me. And they probably didn't know all this stuff either. So that's the point. I think 37 parallel also cuts through Skinwalker Ranch, which is again another topic. I think I have covered it, some of it in the past. I didn't get a map of all the pyramids though. That's the closest one we got, was it? There, that's a pretty good one, I think. And it all goes through that center plane here. Let me just grab that one. Let's grab that one. How many pyramids are in the world? Good question. Anyone know? Have they counted them? There's probably still some hidden, of course. Dense jungles. Here we go. The world famous pyramid location in Egypt with around 120 pyramids. According to the Wikipedia, there are 118 pyramids, but in fact some scientists disagree. The total number of pyramids, no one can say for 100% sure. How about worldwide? Worldwide, what's this one here? The mean average number of pyramids of Eqypt, 250. So that's what, South America? So when you add it all up, what do we get? Uh, 250, 350, 400 pyramids. That's quite a lot of energy for a man to waste building pyramids. I'll share that link there. It's got some information. Pyramids. Now, remember they said there was also this feeling of strange energies, and they would see sparks in the hallway. I think it was the chambers occur sometimes, like electrostatic. So that's also another thing. Something to do with the shape, maybe, and the humidity and the water underneath, and also if there were metals. There was a metal cap on the pyramid at one stage. Why? So yeah, I think it got all destroyed by greedy humans that wanted to pull it all down, and where it was a machine, it no longer is now. I'm still pretty sure it was used to make gases from water. And I think they discovered it wasn't. Okay, so how is that possible though? Well, a lot of stuff in science is, people experimenting for one thing and find something else occurs by pure chance. Now, if you're building a building over a water and you wanted to pump up the water, you're trying to figure out ways to pump up water with metal and buckets. And I think what they found is when they used two different types of metal and they just left it into the well, I think it released, it created enough voltage to split water, and over time it built up the gases in the chamber. And someone walked in there with a candle or something and went boom. and like any mystery, they would have had to figure out what the hell happened. And I think, someone figured it out, that some sort of new element has been found, and probably tried to replicate it, and then eventually designed it into the Great Pyramids and all that sort of stuff. That's my gut feeling on it. That it's nothing to do with a burial chamber. I think it was taken over by the raiding parties and the Egyptians that live there currently. And they started using it for their leaders and all that sort of stuff. But yeah, there was a map here that I was looking for with the Great Pyramids, with all the pyramids on it. I think it was that one, but how can it be? It's so small. They scaled it right down. Okay, so let's save that one. And you can see straight away where all where the pyramids are is also where all the impact craters were. Pyramids locations JPEG. And we only got 2 people watching now. I'm not sure why. Maybe it's getting late. I don't know. But we need to go back to the UFO cases now. But I think we got something going good here. We got that one now. We should bookmark that one. Come back to it. Keep that open. Yeah, so we didn't finish off listening to that. So yeah, even if you look at that map there and related to Bigfoot cases, whereabouts all the Bigfoot sightings. Right, you know, look, it's smack in that zone there, isn't it? California. Wasn't that where the big famous Bigfoot was seen? And you got the Mothman, all this over this location. Interesting stuff. Okay, there was another thing I was just going to look up though, was it? Skinwalker Ranch. I don't know if they've looked at this at all. 37 parallel. Their scientist they got on there probably hasn't even thought about it. There you go. Strong cases for UFOs. And I bet the Skinwalker Ranch is smack in the middle of that. And it's smack in the middle of a meteorite or asteroid impact. And could all those meteorite impacts also be producing a lot of radiation or peaks of radiation that come and go randomly, which is infecting the cattle on the plains of America there? And I think maybe the government knows about it, and they're taking secret samples from various places just to keep a check on it to see whether it becomes a health risk. Discovery Digger in Skinwalker Ranch. Here you go. Nick Hilton, Twitter, also hugging the 37 parallel. Is Skinwalker Ranch. Bingo. 37, the secret behind America's UFOs. 12-hour UFO hotspot live. So this is what you need to go, guys. You need to get your cameras and get to some of these key locations. And you're going to catch something there. Don't go to a beach on a 5-star holiday hotel or whatever, like Tyler is doing from security. That's not the way to do it. you do the research first, as you say. You go there with the cameras and see if you can prove if paranormal or UFOs happen, or equipment failures and that sort of stuff. In fact, that will be another thing. Overlay where the most equipment failures happen. Background radiation happens. There's all sorts of other charts you can keep overlaying on all this. And it sort of makes a bigger and bigger complex picture that gives us more ideas what we should be looking for. So where was Renderson Forest? And it's looks like we've got a few impact craters there in UK. I know there's one between, which ain't on the map here, between Wales and UK. I think there's some missing there, for sure. But we ain't going to go over and find toothpick. So we want to go back to this. A cube inside a sphere. I probably should save that too. Save me having to redraw it. So where's all the great ufologists out there that want to see things in my perspective? We only got 2, have we? Can we progress on from that? So yeah, Skinwalker Ranch. I wonder if we can get it on the map. Nope. Looks like New Zealand. Yes, it's New Zealand map. That's useless. Maybe she's got a map. Conspiracy thread. I better check the audio. How's the audio sounding? Perfect this end. Okay, must be alright. Skinwalker. Come on, people. Where's the maps? Maps. I want a map. We're not going to get it. We have to make our own one, I think. Damn it. How do we get rid of that? All this crap these sites put up. Brandon, I think we've covered this one before, haven't we? Just reading the things here. I believe there's a crashed alien spaceship. Unless one of these meteorite impacts was a livable spacecraft, I don't think so. I just think the makeup of the ground there from the meteorite impacts, and may have even some rare elements in it we don't know about still. And the compression of the ground and piezoelectric effects and causing microwaves and radon gas. It's all going to have an impact on people's health that's going to be living there. I wasn't really convinced with the Skinwalker Ranch UFO stuff they claimed. Oh look, there's an object in the sky. To me it looked like balloons or falcon flying around, and also possibly distant planes or drone. See, when the sensor off on the helicopter went off, right? Again, you got all this magnetic anomalies happening, which will screw up the sensors. Doesn't mean there was something underneath them that's cloaked. It just meant that the sensors were malfunctioning because there's a burst of gamma radiation and magnetic disturbance. Obviously it happens in spikes, but they said it was following them. But if you've got a metal object in the sky, right, over Skinwalker Ranch, makes sense that that's going to cause some sort of attraction, right? But like a Tesla coil, they always get attracted to more conductive or other blobs of material near it. So yeah, it's kind of laughable. I thought the scientists would be a bit better than that. It's kind of funny. I hadn't seen the last episode of Skinwalker Ranch. I don't know if, spoiler alert, but in the last episode they get in the helicopter and fly around, and it has all sorts of crazy things happen to it above this location that they pinpointed from. The compass is going wrong, and they found some meteorite rock from the drilling, and they said it pinpointed about a 1 mile up, or whatever it was, 1,000 feet up. So they fly a helicopter through it. I forgot what I was going to say now. So much going through my head on this stuff. Yeah, that's right. I said to Brandon on the tweet that he never replied. I said, don't fly a helicopter around. Instead, get a balloon up there. Get a blimp up there with your platform up. With minimal metal. But he didn't listen to me. And sure enough, what happens in the end thing that Travis suggests, let's put a blimp up with platform and just monitor that location endlessly. Should have done it ages ago, from the start of the series. I told him last season that's what they should be doing. No one listens to me. I suppose they've got to pad out the series and make lots of money from it. But anyway, I have got the tweets to prove it and timestamps. Yeah, so no map for Skinwalker Ranch. So yeah, it might be one we have to make. I think I sort of touched on it with the Denver airport. There was a whole collection of ones I did here already as part of the ongoing research and connections. It's good to get back to this stuff because this is where the interesting stuff happens. There's all the other garbage out there. That's not going to give us answers. Instead, research is going to give us answers, and people working on the big data. Now I got one here, Skinwalker Ranch stuff that we covered, including the goblins. Here's the goblin ones. The Hella. The Hella thing on YouTube. If you've not watched it, go and grab and have a watch of it. It's free. I think it's 12 episodes first season and 24 the second one. I actually bring up some things they missed in it. But that's about the goblins and the Hopi Indian connection as well. I think in that one. And again, it connects to these. Impact craters. Where's the Skinwalker Ranch one? I actually do look into ley lines as well. But ley lines turn out to be subjective, where people think they should be. Like underground tunnels. Where is it? I got 92 playlists here. 5 years. It's grown to a lot. Here we are. 14 episodes to do with Skinwalker. Yeah, Skinwalker. But go and have a look at the map for that, for 37th parallel and Denver Airport. Some interesting connections there. Anyway, get back to this one. I don't know if there's anything
Like, okay,
else.
well, this is probably some type of maybe drone thing or something that they're testing out. It wasn't until someone actually saw one go in between two aircraft at a close range, probably within 150 feet, that it was starting to get worrisome.
Lieutenant Graves says when one of the objects nearly caused a terrifying mid-air collision.
Yeah, so that looks like a solid thing, but I don't see the sphere around it in the emanation here.
Senior pilots in his squadron decided to act.
At this point, we're like, something needs to be done. We submitted a safety report to the Navy Safety Center.
Unidentified.
Yeah, so it looks like a promo, so we should be okay with that with copyright, shouldn't we? But these guys are strange, the way they work. So you also got crop circles with squares. So that's another thing we would need to plot too. Locations of where all the crop circles happened in the world on a map, and overlay it on these things. 37th parallel, meteorite impacts or asteroid / meteorite impacts, and magnetic anomalies. I think then we're getting better idea of where everything's sort of fitting. Crop circles with squares and spheres, or circles. We'll try circles. Let's see what comes up. Circles is the most common one, but that makes sense because it's the easiest one to stamp out. That one's sort of got a square inside a circle. We know this one is a fake. Linda Moulton Hell got caught out on it. This is actually a design of a chip. with 128 cores. Now, wham to that. That was back a few years now, and we still haven't seen a 128 core desktop, have we? So they've got it working with 128 cores, but what they do is they're going to dribble feed it out to you. They're just going to increase the cores over the years. And that's the government. The government have got these 128 core ones, and they're busting all the encryptions and stuff by brute force. So there is some with the circle and the square, right? You got this one here, but there's no square. Again, touches the edges of the circle. Latest crop circle images 2012. Coming soon to a field. Is that the crop circle makers there? Physics world. Serious studies of crop circles have been long hampered by conspiracy theories and secretive nature of crop circle makers. See, if we could get rid of all these frauds, what we're left would be the evidence of something either natural that's based on maybe these impact locations. If we could just get rid of all the hoaxes and fraud and all the fake stuff in the world, what will be left would probably be 1% of really, really good stuff that we could say was legit. Okay, dead set has arrived. I'll just read it out on the big screen here. What do you got to say? Legitimate crop circles from Landcraft are basic shapes here. The fancy ones are man-made. That's what I believe too. But maybe this takes one of those crop circles not to be man-made. And we don't know. Changes the whole world view of it, right? You know, like I said, I'm always debunk stuff, but I always adapt my information as new stuff comes in. But has anyone investigated all the crop circles properly? Is another thing, right? Have they taken samples before they got destroyed? And you know, there's a lot of information. You need more boots on the ground out there. And scientists, people want to be scientists rather than sit back and watch 5-minute security team videos. And they should be going out there trying to prove it or collect information on it. And it looks like America is one of the key locations, right? But I think there's enough technology nowadays that farmers have got cameras everywhere. Now, if someone was making the crop circles, they would know about it, wouldn't they? So is there less crop circles today than there was 20 years ago? So yes, again, it's more questions than answers. Some 15 years on, scientists still do not know the answer. 10,000 patterns documented over the years. outcrop formations. So that's a lot of stupidity by humans if they're making them. And what the hell is aliens wasting their time making all that, also. So I think, again, we got to always consider science as not black and white, yet there's a grey area. And if you got hoaxes and cover-ups and stuff, we never know what the real answer is, will we? I'll just post that link there. That's a lot of reading there, but looks like it's quite interesting read as well. I don't know how people find all the time to read and watch everything on YouTube. Because I certainly don't. But yeah, I was just looking for patterns, really, writing articles. I was just interested in this one here. So I just find it interesting that all the squares always seem to touch on the circles on these ones. This is what the pilots were describing, right? You see how this one's going in infinity here. And that's sort of how you would represent a fourth dimension. And again, here we go. And again, it looks like distorted fourth dimensions. And again here, 3D inside a 2D. If humans are making it, then shame on them. Unless they admit to it and say they're doing it for artistic reasons. So look how complex that one is. How the hell did they do that? Overnight. You see, they would have to have some sort of RTVs, I think, with that eject steam, which makes it bend without snapping the stems, right? So you steam lower down the stalks, they will bend easy and they'll stay down. And if you have it so you drive around and the computer can shoot off the gas and then press down also. I think that's how you could do it very quickly. Oh, what's all this popping up? We got some spammer trying to flood us here. Hide user. See you later, dude. Look at it, made a mess of our form there. Why do that? That's crazy. Yeah, just post a few messages and it'll scroll up. God is great. Eh? He'll be one of these ones building the crop circles, this dude here. And then blowing himself up in the middle of it. Degenerate patterns are mathematically derived and bound. Famous secret society of artists. Yeah, I'm not saying they're not, but it just takes one of them not to be made by them. That changes the whole scenario, right? Yeah. So yeah, we've got to sort of keep a balance, open mind, right? People think I'm just one-sided, but I'm not. I'm trying to get people to think differently. And I'm trying to show them how I sort of think and how they can join in researching it. Again, you know, the airship idea, Egyptian airships, you know, you got the Nazca lines, but crop circles also fit in with this as well. Why create a crop circle that you can only see from the air? Now, I haven't seen. Has there been any crop circles that were Nazca lines? Because that would be interesting. Crop circles that look like Nazca lines. Okay, we've got the spider. I've got some sort of cat, is it? Okay. Well, that definitely looks man-made. Jellyfish. But there's no Nazca line type things, is it? It's always circles, squares, triangles. Although that one there kind of looks Nazca line-ish. Still circles. And there's a Nazca square. Then you got the snakes. So why would they be so keen on snakes though? That's another strange mystery there. Me, spiders in the States, why would you be drawing those? They're creepy and horrible. What's that one there? Looks like a demon. What's that? Spider, maybe? Oh, I spelled Nazca wrong, but it doesn't matter. So there's triangles, and now we got circles and polygons. But it's not really Nazca, is it? Nazca. So the crop circles can't be related to the Nazca lines, as far as I'm concerned. And that one there's 100% man-made, doesn't it? But look how detailed that is, right? It's got to be done with some RTVs and computers and I just can't see how they'll do it with just a few people. So there's more going on. What's that one there? Blame it on aliens, mysteries. Okay, so that's the Nazca line stuff again, isn't it? Okay, someone's duplicated Nazca line one here. The bird. But it's still got circles. Circles. In it. Here's one that looks like an alien. Going circles and squares. So there are some Nazca line type things, but it looks like people have been duplicating it rather than new ones, right? If it's like this the bird, but a variation of it, like another animal, or maybe some dinosaur that we don't know about yet, that we've yet to find a fossil for. That would be amazing, if they had that embedded in a crop circle from aliens, because they've been around for millions of years and we haven't. They may have documented all the past extinction events on Earth, right? So they might have more data and history than we would, So these early days, they used to talk about the devil mower. They used to make these round crop circles, really basic. But back then they had cults as well, didn't they? They had religious cults that would go out in the field, and they would form a circle, walk around, trap around on the wheat or the corn fields, and bingo, you got a crop circle. Okay, so the other thing that I talked about too was stone hinges on impact craters. Let's see what comes up. Images. Okay, was the Stonehenge on one? I think it got relocated from another henge, is what they found, a super henge. But I don't think it's on an impact crater, is it? Not looking at those pictures there anyway. Because maybe they could sense magnetic fields. Maybe it's got weaker over thousands of years. But maybe they walk around and some people could sense it and called them gifted or whatever and said, oh yeah, set up a circle here. And they'd make it like a religious site, but also stargazing. And using it for a prediction of when to do the crops, to sow the seeds and all that sort of stuff. So it doesn't have to be supernatural or anything like that. It could be science again. So let's get back to the original article here. I still haven't got onto the fourth dimension. So it's going to have to be a part 2, I think, next weekend or whatever. One incident on March 26, Virginia Beach, that's where we got to. I might just pipe this into the other one and get it to read out. And let's just work through it for that way. Save me having to talk and I'll get a drink and we'll just wrap up this part of it anyway. So that we've sort of journeyed into the fourth dimension and looking at all the strange stuff on the planet and how it could be related to portals or influencing on the brain, and what we call paranormal could be scientifically proven even. Just takes a mindset, takes the right person to come up with an experiment where they can trigger it. Just imagine that. They work out from all the maps and things, they work out here's a place that we can trigger it and set up some sort of Tesla coils or whatever, and whammo, bam. And they open up a portal where they can see into another world. and maybe disappear. Now, if you opened up a portal in these triangles and the people disappear, never seen again, could you imagine them being thrown into another universe where it's older and they have dinosaurs, and suddenly you become food for dinosaurs, so you're never going to come back unless you come back as a turd of a dinosaur, fossilized turd. Anyway, what was I going to do? Oh yeah, I was going to read it out. So let's start from the start for game and go from there.
Get home delivery 66% off.
No.
You've reached your limit of free articles. Already a subscriber? Log in.
Okay. We got Hess.
Get home delivery 66% off. You've reached your limit of free articles.
You assholes. So we can't do it on this one then. No. Might be a way. Ah, shit. There's always problems, isn't it? There's always people trying to get money out of us. And information's not free anymore. It's all censored and... Is it all there? Now, if I can get it to read out from there, would be right. Read aloud C.
It is only a matter of time before this results in a midair in W-72, the report said, using the airspace
shit.
designation.
Yeah.
This was the squadron's second occurrence in the last 10 months.
It's going.
Navy reports describe encounters with unexplained flying objects. While some of the encounters have been reported publicly before, the Navy records are an official accounting of the incidents, including descriptions from the pilots of what they saw. 78. Tony Luong for the New York Times. By Ralph Blumenthal and Leslie Keane. Published May 14, 2020, updated July 24, 2020. Navy fighter pilots reported close encounters with unidentified aerial vehicles, including several dangerously close, in 8 incidents between June 27, 2013, and February 13, 2019, according to documents recently released by the Navy. 2 happened on one day, according to one of 8 unclassified Navy safety reports released in response to requests filed under the Freedom of Information Act by news outlets, including the New York Times. Last month, the Defense Department authenticated 3 videos of aerial encounters previously published by the Times, accompanying accounts of Navy pilots who reported such close encounters. Back. Bars. 0:00/2:06.
What the hell?
Transcript. U.S. Navy releases videos of unexplained flying objects. The U.S. Navy has officially published previously released videos showing unexplained objects.
Where's it reading from?
Radio transmission. Whoa, got it. Woohoo. Roger, what the expletive is that? Did you box a moving target? No, I took an auto track.
We've been sabotaged.
Oh my gosh, dude. Wow, what is that, man?
Oh,
There's a whole screen of them. My gosh. They're all going against the wind. The wind's 120 knots. The incidents in the videos were investigated by a little-known Pentagon program that for years looked into reports of unidentified flying objects, the Advanced Aerospace Threat Identification Program. The existence of the office was first reported by the Times in December 2017. While some of the encounters have been reported publicly before, the Freedom of Information Act releases include the Navy's official records documenting the incidents, including descriptions from the pilots of what they saw. The Navy records, known as hazard reports, describe both visual and radar sightings, including close calls with the aerial vehicles or unmanned aircraft systems. One incident, on March 26, 2014, over the Atlantic Ocean off Virginia Beach, involved a silver object approximately the size of a suitcase that was tracked on radar passing within 1,000
Suitcase,
feet
eh?
of one of the jets, according to the report.
Suitcase isn't really big, isn't it? Would that be like half a foot deep? 4 feet long? That's a pretty small tic-tac. So that would have to be really tiny aliens. Or a drone. What do you think of that one? Suitcase. I'll just see what's in sync again.
Report. Some of the incidents involved fighter squadrons aboard the aircraft carrier Theodore Roosevelt. One of the former F/A-18 Super Hornet pilots, Lieutenant Ryan Graves, last year described a close encounter off Virginia Beach with what looked like a flying sphere encasing a cube, as recounted by a fellow pilot, and later reported to the squadron safety officer. The incident was documented in a report with few details on June 27, 2013, which stated that the Navy jet crew saw something pass about 200 feet away on the right side. With a visible smoke plume emitting from the rear section, the aircraft was white in color and approximately the size and shape of a drone or missile, according to the report. No other agencies were conducting drone flights or missile launches in the area at that time, the report said. Unmanned aerial vehicles represent a significant mid-air collision threat, the commanding officer reported. The incidents included more than just that squadron, the VFA-11 Red Rippers out of Naval Air Station Oceana, Virginia. The documents show that the commanders took the incidents seriously, warning of the likelihood of a mid-air collision. Defense Department officials do not describe the objects as extraterrestrial, and experts emphasize that earthly explanations can generally be found for such incidents. Even lacking a plausible terrestrial explanation does not make an extraterrestrial one likely, astrophysicists say. In interviews, 5 of the pilots involved avoided speculating on the source of the objects. The Navy, in its reports, also avoided any such conjecture. 3 incidents occurred within exclusive use airspace, meaning no other aircraft were authorized to fly in that area. Another report on an incident on November 18, 2013, expressed alarm. Due to their small size, many UASs are less visually significant and radar apparent, and therefore pose a significant risk for mid-air collision, the report said, using an abbreviation for unmanned aircraft systems. Less than a month later, a pilot who had been assured there was no traffic in his area detected a radar track at an altitude of 12,000 feet, and less than a mile away. He was able to identify a small white visual return at the location of the radar track, the report said.
Tic-tac.
A near mid-air collision report from March 26, 2014, also in exclusive use airspace, involved 2 F divided by a -18E Super Hornet aircraft from Squadron VFA 106. One pilot closed in and reported seeing a small, silver metallic object the size of a suitcase. Pilot passed within 1,000 feet of the object. Could not identify it, the report says.
So, if that's a tic-tac, it's certainly the wrong colour. Why would you make it silver? Obviously, they don't paint it, right? It's wholly pure metal for a good reason, for their propulsion systems or cloaking to work. But then the tic-tacs were white, weren't they? They weren't all silver. So you see, this is why I have conflict, whether it's our technology or something else. Someone with advanced technology, why haven't they used it in wars? Well, simple answer to that may be it's still limited, right? And size and what payload it can use. And maybe it uses some sort of material that takes years to make. Metamaterial. Maybe it takes a lot of energy and nanotechnology to build it, and it takes a good amount of time to build just one, to be able to get it to work at these incredible speeds and cloaking and whatnot. So yeah, there are reasons why there could be advanced technology from Russia, China. Still, it doesn't sort of rule out aliens either, but it doesn't rule out us either. And it doesn't rule out that maybe they're using alien technology, and the white drones and the silver ones might actually be the alien technology, if you know what I mean. So they've managed to capture one of these and retrofit it into multiple white drones instead. And that's why they're not using them in war, because they've got a limited number of them that they don't want to waste. They want to leave it as the last resort weapon if they ever need to use it. I suppose maybe humans might be developing further, who knows, where they don't want actually to have wars anymore, because I know it's a waste of lives, resources, who knows. That's possible. Maybe the people that we're getting in governments now are less warmongery. Well, they know from computer simulations and artificial intelligence that there's a no-win situation. I'm pretty sure aliens would know that.
Says, the pilot passed the information to the local fleet area control and surveillance facility, which had received multiple sighting reports in recent months. This presents a significant safety concern, given that this unknown aircraft was detected in an exclusive use area, the commanding officer stated. I feel it may only be a matter of time before one of our F/A-18 aircraft has a mid-air collision with an unidentified UAS.
But hasn't that already happened, though? I think the Roswell one was a mid-air collision. Not with a plane, but a UFO, and the Mogul blew. That's what I believe. And there's 2 crash sites. That's what seems to be the most logical answer there. Plus you had that guy that was chasing one, and they claim he lost unconsciousness and crashed his plane. What was his name again? Terrible. McDonald, was it? No. You guys know, out there anyway, who I'm talking about. So there has been other cases where there have been near misses and collisions. Wasn't there also with commercial planes, right? That guy with the small plane said he they clipped him in South America. I can't remember what that one was called either. This is why you have UFO historians on my channel that keep that all in their head. But yeah, we'll just keep on listening.
UAS. On April 23, 2014, 2 objects were tracked on radar, not communicating, and 2 other relatively small objects were observed at the same time flying at high speed off the coast of Virginia, another report states. The events were said to pose a severe threat to naval aviation. It is only a matter of time before this results in a mid-air in W-72, the report said, using the airspace designation. This was the squadron's second occurrence in the last 10 months. The most recent incident included in the Freedom of Information Act documents did not appear to be related to an unidentified flying object. On February 13, 2019, a red weather balloon was spotted at 27,000 feet by 4 aircraft when none were supposed to be in the area. The report concluded weather balloon released without notifying the appropriate channels. The military encounters unexplained flying objects. Glowing auras and black money, the Pentagon's mysterious UFO program.
Okay, that was at the end of the article. Yeah. So that was that. But that opens up it into a whole new can of worms, doesn't it? So we've got Tic Tacs, we've got briefcase-sized silver objects, and now we've got cubes inside transparent spheres. Whether that's some sort of cloaked field, it doesn't seem to suggest that, because obviously they saw it like a clear balloon. But then again, the skeptics are going to say, surely that's just one of those square balloons inside one of those clear round balloons. You know, the ones I mean. Let's have a look. Cube balloon. Yes, it's possible to make cubes. Humans are very creative. There you go. There's some pictures of them. So, could they be used for a decoy? Sure, they could. Throw a load of those up in the sky. Eventually, one's going to pass between two jets. And then you got the clear balloons. I won't put helium in, just see if it comes up. Clear balloons. Clear latex balloons, here you go. Images. Like that one there. They can get quite big. 40 inches. That one's 18. So could that be what the pilot saw? You see, this is where the skeptics would say that's the most logical answer. That someone put one of those square balloons inside there and they would have packed it in hard and just released it. But could they also be used as a weapon? So maybe the Russians are doing it. Distract the pilots and also get sucked into the engines. Didn't they say there was hundreds of them for the Tic Tac ones, but could there be hundreds of these ones? So there's the other side of the coin you see. Did they say how big it was? See, we don't have all the answers. How big was it flying between the jets? Was it jet size? Maybe information is out there, but we haven't found it on these articles. Yes, so I copy and paste it, didn't I? I suppose you could probably type it in and see if it comes up. How shame we can't get that guy on to interview. People are not asking the right questions, are they, out there? And they're always asking the same questions to the pilots. And it just ends up being a big echo chamber of the same crap. Instead of scientists getting in there and actually getting rid of the people that don't understand anything at all. That includes Lou and also Chris Mellon. Obviously they have no clue what a skydiver looks like, a little old balloon on video. They shouldn't be investigating that sort of stuff. They haven't got the skills unless you train them up. And that's another question I have with Lou. What was he doing? What's he been doing there? Is he meant to be a scientist, collector information? If so, he didn't show to be very capable on the TV series. To me, he seemed like the front man, like the media man, to bring it to attention of the media. And that's why everybody thinks he's a plant and Mr. Doty and all that sort of stuff, which is understandable. Where's the real scientists behind all these committees and conferences and groups they set up and government organisations that set up? They're the ones that need to be on TV, and we need to have people more in ufology to answer these questions. How big was the cube UFO seen by pilots? Was it 40 feet? Because that's quite big for a balloon. Then we could rule out balloon, you see. And this is how we got to look at it. Seen between pilots. But yeah, I've got to sort of wrap up on my... But I'll wrap up on a couple of things here, other than the fourth dimension stuff, and we'll carry on with that. So we got any information on this? And I think it's the same ones that keep coming up in searches. We know the tic-tac size, but what was the cube? That's sort of come out after. Is it still working? People are dropping off. Is the video working? It looks like it. Just in case I thought there was a problem. Yeah, if anyone out there's got information how big the cube was, if they could find a report that someone said it was this big. Maybe it's on Twitter. What was that guy in the interview talking about it? What was his name? Yeah, I don't know. We should have kept that and maybe found him on Twitter and asked him the question. Perhaps someone out there can help us. How big? I'll just put that in quotes. Artifact. What's that? Enigma code. What's popping up here? Emails. Yeah, I gotta sort of round this up soon. Okay, so that was not a cube, was it? I think it was a geometric shape. Yeah, it's a cube with pyramids on the end. No, that's not it, Nick. Not that one. No. None of those ones. It was actually one of these Mexican type colourful balloons. Scott Brando's got a picture of it. Anyway. But that just goes to show when I was talking about balloons, being a skeptic, right? Oh crap. Music. Copyright claim. This one here. Now this is what the pilots would be seeing, a balloon passing, right? Now if it's clear, I'm not going to see it until it's on top of them. And then they might not see the cube inside till it's really up close. So can you see the cube there? There it comes. So yeah, we can't discount that as what they saw, unfortunately, unless there's more pilots talking about them. But then again, it could be used like a decoy, some crazy cheap decoy that the Russians are using, or Chinese or whatever, and just launch hundreds of them from the sea, from submarines, right? Anyway, leave it there, and just wrap up on this other stuff here. We did quite a lot today. It's the start, so I should call it part 1. Journey into part 1. I'll rename it, I think. Part 1. It's always stuff to investigate. So we got all these images remade. 30th. Yeah, I was going to zoom in, so I might have to keep that one handy for next time. So I need the images. I was going to zoom in on those meteorite impacts, try and figure out where all the city locations are, and 37 parallel overlay, and look at that as well. There's lots of cool stuff to do yet. That was the now we'll just keep that one out. So what's going on here? Just trying to select all those files. There we go. Cut, paste into there. I have to make up a new thumbnail, I think. Alright, so this is the problem of ufology, is this guy here. Smug look on his face.
I just want to make a quick video for all you.
Okay, so I'll get it on. Instead of playing the video clips captured, I will get his Twitter page on that one. Twitter. Where is it? Looks. He's probably taking it down by now. Oh no, he's still got it up. Probably should scale it down a bit. There we go.
I just want to make a quick video for all you trolls and haters on Twitter here that always have some clever response to a tweet I've made about UFOs. If you don't want to be here, ride out. The door's that way. Don't let it hit you on the way out. We're here to discover new things and analyze photographs, images, videos, footage. So if you can't appreciate that, peace out. And secure Team 10.
Okay, so let's talk about that. Now, for this guy here, he calls me a hater because I've exposed him as a hoaxer. Right, and he doesn't like me and other people pointing out to him that he hasn't come clean on it still. But yeah, you can see he's trying to tell us to bugger off, and there's no way I'm buggering off. I'm going to be a thorn on his side, and Third Phase, and Goofon, and all the other frauds out there. But you see that Goofon's already trying to blend back to how he was. You can see he's slowly moving away again from the Third Phase that everything's a UFO to being back to his old self again and calling out people. And this probably end up breaking ties, because he eventually will see that they didn't really want him in the first place, and he's not part of the money trail that they're producing. So he'll be they're just using him as a mouthpiece, basically, which we've pointed out several times already. But this guy here, he's very smug. Just have a look at his face here. Ha ha ha, you can't stop me, poor Skinner. Go and ride out, man. Now he's teamed up with his cousin Nocturnal News. So look at the smile, look. But in the end, I think we're going to get the last smile. He looks like a dead man walking to me, doesn't he? He's losing more weight every time I see him. Whenever you lose lots of weight, normally it's a bad sign that you're really sick. Yeah, but simply going to the beach, right? And with his special IR camera. Look at the sad look here. I don't think I've listened to this one. Let's have a look at this one. Jupiter and its moons. From my beach. Who cares? We want UFOs, not bloody Jupiter.
Alright guys, so I was just out back and I saw this, what looked like a star in the sky, but it was a little orange, so I thought maybe it's Mars. So I took out the P1000 and I zoomed in on.
So he should have taken out his smartphone with the Heavens Above app and aimed it at the sky to see if it was a satellite, planet or whatever. And then got out the other cameras.
On it, and yes, I'm not some wonderful astrophotographer, but it was Jupiter, and I got some of its moons on video and photographs, so here are a couple of those photos.
So how did he know it was Jupiter? He doesn't talk about the apps, and really he needs to tell the people how he verifies that it was Jupiter. But he won't do. So these are the pictures he got from his new P1000. Jupiter and Saturn, by the looks of it. And what does it say here? And other things. Well, it's a heart-shaped balloon. He threw that up there just to add it in for a UFO video, no doubt. There's his duck. Oh no, seagull. Remember my episode 1?
Yeah, that's right. I'm Tyler from Secure Team. Better walk away. What, you want some? Oh, this guy wants some. Kelly, hold my camera. That's it.
And he doesn't like Billy Meyer. And that goes on to the next bit here, which is kind of funny. So yeah, infighting, goof on again. And I've got a clip here.
At least one more time. But that's not the point. The point is, Tyler thought it was very wrong of me to have him on. Tyler.
Drama.
I know. Hold on, I'm getting to it. Yeah, there's a lot here. Hold on. No, that's not it. It's coming up. I'm way back. I'm not going to read it all. I'm just going to read. I just want to get myself jump started here.
Put it up on the screen. Just read parts of it then. Go on, share it. Tyler.
Here it is. Are you really claiming that the Billy Meyer case was real? It's been proven the photos are fake, and they even look fake with their false forced perspective. Even the videos of the saucers were nothing but things swinging back and forth, and not once did one of the saucers suddenly stop in midair or prove it wasn't hanging from a line somewhere.
And shoot off vertically.
He doesn't believe in Billy Meyer, right?
No one does.
He says I did.
Apart from Michael Horn.
He says I did. says, you talk about me and then act like Billy Meyer isn't one of the biggest hoaxers ever. And now, you know what I said? I was honest. Okay? I said...
Goofon was honest. Oh, he's telling us he's actually honest here. So does it mean other times he's not honest? Okay. Body language there. But yes, it's a bit hypocritical that Tyler's right into this fraud to start promoting another fraud, and yet they're all in the business of fraud themselves. Tyler's been called out hundreds of videos he's made himself from stock images, and also his famous leaker voices. It's just hypocritical and double standards. It was laughable.
I never looked deep. I looked a lot. I just didn't look deep into Billy Meyer because it looked fake. I wasn't going to waste my time going in deep to something
fake.
that looked ridiculous. And I said that. And I said last night, to be honest, I never got into deep what Michael Horn was saying. Maybe I should look into. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah. So all this infighting and drama, I'll just put on the end of today's show. And this is the problem. Why we got so many frauds and hoaxes and noise generators, all this good stuff that I was talking about today just gets buried. And we don't need it. We really don't. Just close that down. Didn't we save that? Better resave it. There we go. Oh shit, didn't I move it? That's a point. I think I did move it. I created a new one. That's alright. Drop it in there. Okay. Yeah, and of course, I did actually have a look at Billy Meyer while we're talking about him. Some new stuff. Apparently, there's a picture of a jet F117 having a look at a UFO, so I had a look at that one. And this is totally not a photo of Billy dangling a fake garbage can lid UFO in front of a camera to make it look like it's hovering above his car. Yeah, obviously you'd expect to see a shadow. Why doesn't Billy keep walking and taking a photograph under the video, UFO for us? So there's all sorts of things, right, in that interview, if you've not watched it, with Michael Horn, where he's saying, oh yeah, he took that from inside the UFO. But there's no pictures from inside the UFO, what it looks like inside, which is more important than what looks outside the window. No pictures of aliens looking out the window or at the control panel. And you can see all these models as well. I believe have a wire that connects to the center post of his fake miniature trees that he had, clearly had. Here's one example here, and Tyler's actually correct. Hate to say it, but he is actually correct here. About parking the flying saucer straight into the tree. The Billy Meyer hoax case. Yeah, this is totally not a fake flying saucer attached to a model baby tree using forced perspective to make it think look it's far away. And not right in front of the damn camera. So yeah, I've also got my page of stuff. Yeah, so that one there looks like a bird. Closer to the camera. Says he's got that one up. What's the other one? That looks like a block of missing data. Stitching error. due to missing data. That gang there in the middle. Pile of rocks with some missing data. Blurriness there, missing data. So yeah, not a pipe. Is that the one they're claiming was dumping stuff into a crater? Anyway, there's his camera set up at the beach. You should go to the key locations, UFO hotspots, Tyler. Look on my episode today and give you some ideas. This is a big one.
I just caught a literal alien here at the beach. This is a bombshell. Look at this. And he's right.
Yeah, so he's making a mockery of it. I thought he had some more pictures. Okay, he's got some up here. We'll just round up on it anyway. And I'll bring up those Billy Meyer ones I looked at. Okay, so what do we got here? Again, that looks like a bird or insect where it's sort of reflected off one of the wings here. You can see the beak, the tail fins going up this way. Probably a white wing, probably a seagull. This one here, again, is a bird. There's the beak side of it here, the wings lifting up here, and there's the tail fins here. And of course we're just getting a silhouette side view. This one here with the triangle, this will be whereabouts in the picture, so I can have a look at it. Can't see it, maybe we have to open it up. Oh, here we go. Okay, I think that's one of those damn Mylar balloons again. It's possible someone has used a Mylar balloon with a camera to get a safe. They probably got it on a piece of fish wire going down this way, probably. Because you can get lots of fishing wire. It can go on for thousands of yards, right? Be a good way to get to the steaming top of a volcano, to photograph it with a GoPro or something like that. And a drone, a balloon wouldn't be affected by gases and toxics, but it wouldn't matter if it gets hit. You lose your camera, but you $1,000 drone, and then you could even have it transmit back if it's that type of camera. Some of them have Wi-Fi connect, don't they? So you could watch in real time too. Same as what you get on drones, but that looks like one of those balloons that we've looked at in the past. And this one here, I think, is a bird again. There's the tail fins, this one, and the wings being lifted up here, and the head's going around this way. So a lot of these are what we call blurphos, because they're blurry, because they're in motion. And there could be small bugs close to the screen, but also birds can move across the screen pretty fast. So they're not UFOs, none of those. 3 birds and a balloon. And what's this one here? Unfortunately, I broke my pinky finger today while passing football with my son. Yep, that can happen. So he's back in hospital again. Yeah, I did that too. I was playing laser game, and the girl in front of me kicked backwards and it hit my little finger as I was waving my hand forward, and it went crack. But I never went to the hospital with it. Okay, so Billy Meyer, wrap up on that. We're over an hour here. 3 hours 15. But yeah, it's been a good laid back investigation today. Here we go. No, that's my channel. No, that's my channel. Wrong one. Just get the pictures. Post them up. If you follow me on this, you'll be up to speed anyway. Okay. Yes, UFO interest. I've got some interesting bits up here. Apparently this was that thing I said was most likely a balloon is this thing here, apparently. Some crazy hot air balloon in South America or Mexico. I'll just play that one. Let's see how windy it is. It's a fair distance away. How will they land it in that weather? So it's this here. Is that there? And the basket's at the bottom. I'm not sure if it's attached to that actually. Oh, here you go. It's coming down slowly. Just shows from there. Can't see that detail, but as it gets closer to landing.
Ya nos llevó la verga.
Oye, yo nunca había visto eso ¿De dónde? Y nos empezó a ver.
I think it's hot air balloon, isn't it? Hot air balloon, yeah. No, it's the Mexican llama. Also widespread in Colombia. I did that. He's such a copycat. Bert. Okay, Billy My stuff, here we go. So this is apparently a merged photograph of 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And just have a look at this, how that UFO is moving in the air. You can see it's on a piece of string. Piece of fishing wire. You can see it's tilted there, and then it swings back, and it swings back on that angle there. So if it was done on a Kodak camera, it doesn't mean a thing. We know that you can superimpose things. And how would you do it? Now, either you would take the picture, 5 pictures of the plane on 5 different packs of Kodak and take it back to the lab, and then superimpose the model, which could be like a thumb size model, this one, on a piece of Kevlar, which you ain't going to see, with maybe a white painted wall, and then just take a snapshot, and then it'll be superimposed over the plane. If you got the right light in it won't wash it out. But I'm not sure if it was a Polaroid in that sense. I don't know too much about it, but you can see here it would be quite easy to fake it. Even in real time. You could dangle that model from a key ring, you know. Have a key ring one ready to go in front of the camera. And make sure it's overcast day so the sun doesn't reflect off the fishing wire. And bingo, you got a believable thing. I think he said it was 1981 it was taken. And there's the 5 images separately. And he's saying, trying to debunk that. Well, it's obvious. It's easy to debunk. And you probably could replicate it even. So yeah, not impressed. I'm still not impressed. And then I looked at this one here, and I ran it through some filters. And can you notice anything in the picture? Any keen eyes out there? Can you see what I see? See, there's some disturbance in the picture here. Running down this way. Going down this way. Going through there. What's that suggest to you? This is the thing with fishing wires. Sometimes it will disturb and refract the light differently through the cable. Could be another cable up here too, because sometimes you use two cables if it's a big object, and you can string it over two to keep it steady. Also, it looks like there's some disturbance going up here, but yeah, I just thought I'd show you that. And so I think there's a wire going through there. Possibly it could be another wire covered over here, and another one that goes over and around. So it could be a cable that goes up onto a tree here and then goes back. And now it's strung up a couple of wires, one that's cropped off here, one that's up here. So there could be some more disturbance over here. So there's a line going through here. Looks like it's going all the way through to there. And it's really subtle, but I believe there's something coming up there. Something coming up here. Something coming up here onto that cable that's running around this way. And that's how you fake stuff. Make sure you got the right day and the right lighting so it doesn't show up the cable. And it's very believable. Anyway, I suppose we'll leave it there. Was there anything else? What was that one here? I'll just play that one. Oh yeah, that's really clever. This is like someone's home fakery, you know, 3D graphics. A bit like what you get in FX quality in Hollywood. And here comes some debris. So if people can do that at home nowadays, this shows what you got to be careful of. Billy Meyer was the early stages. Okay, what's this one here? UFO grifters, Sharon reported. Okay, so I talked about this one a couple of live streams back as well.
Like the left
Very
side
quickly
of it.
analysed it from third phase. I said, oh, that looks like skydivers, but apparently this one is an old fake video published from Spain 2009. I'll just mute that too. That one forms a V shape and looks like skydivers. But yeah, see, the cookie cutter effect is really makes it really easy for CGI fakes, right? Overexposed on a smartphone, and bingo, you got a believable fake UFO. But third phase should know that. They're the CGI masters, right? They make them. In fact, I wouldn't even be surprised if they made that one.
Ooh, that is fun.
I thought I was going to pause it. And of course, they're talking about making contact at $250 And you don't even go and see the people. It's all done online, which is ridiculous. So I don't want to talk about that. Everyone's talking about that though. And that's it. So I'm just going to wrap up on that now. And we'll do a part 2 of what I started here next time. If I'm in the mood. Because it gets a bit involved. So we've got to look into what the 4th dimension is. And we go from there, I guess. And how it relates to that pilot sighting as well. So yeah, lots more goodies to come, hopefully. And I'll just wrap up now and say good night and take care on the roads, because that gets sucky if you get to a car injury or killed. The worst kind of injury, actually. Neck injuries, back injuries, back injury, back injuries. Oh dear. Someone give me a whiskey. My throat's gone. Thanks for joining us, guys. Some of you interacted. That's well appreciated. Your input there. And hopefully those that watched most of it got interested in what I was saying. And they'll be back for part 2. I will see if I can download it and upload it on alt media as well. And damn, it's almost dinner time again. And I started earlier today. Good night.